Understand this once and for all. The world does not give you value simply because you breathed, or because you mean well, or because you try your hardest to please. The world gives you value in proportion to what you defend, what you protect, and what you refuse to tolerate. There is no scoreboard measuring your sacrifices. There is no divine accountant tracking how many times you swallowed your anger or turned the other cheek. People remember one thing: how you taught them to treat you. And if you taught them that your boundaries can be ignored, that your kindness can be taken for granted, that your loyalty can be abused, they will. This is the hard truth most people do not want to hear. They cling to the fantasy that if they are good enough, helpful enough, endlessly agreeable, eventually the world will repay them with respect and gratitude. It does not. The world does not operate on fairy tales. It operates on power. Niceness without power is not a virtue. It is an invitation to be trampled. If you do not enforce limits, you become disposable. If you never say no, you become replaceable. If you never stand up for your own time and energy, you become invisible. People do not cherish what is always available. They do not respect what is always agreeable. They respect what is rare, what is self-possessed, what stands firm and will not bow under pressure. That is why the people you most admire, the ones who carry an aura, who seem untouchable, all share one trait: they are not desperate for acceptance. They do not explain themselves to everyone. They do not dilute their message so no one feels uncomfortable. They speak with calm authority. They move with precision. They protect their spirit. That is the path. No more apologizing for having standards. No more weakening your voice to fit in. No more explaining every decision to people who only want to drain you. You will feel fear at first. You will feel guilt. Because the world conditioned you to believe that protecting yourself is selfish, that standing up for yourself is rude. They trained you to put others first every single time, even if it left you hollow. But here's the truth: putting yourself first is not cruelty, it is sanity. When you put yourself first, you become stronger. And when you are stronger, you are able to help others in a way that does not destroy you. Because kindness is powerful only when it is protected. Imagine a castle, a beautiful castle, full of warmth, music, light. But if the castle has no walls, it will be sacked, its treasures stolen, its peace obliterated. A castle needs strong walls to keep its beauty intact. You are that castle. Your walls are your boundaries. If you never learn to build them, you will never know peace. There will always be people testing you, pushing you, probing you, looking for weakness, seeing how much you will tolerate. It is not personal, it's human nature, and it is your job to teach them where your lines are. Every time you say no, you teach them. Every time you hold your ground, you teach them. Every time you leave the table when respect is no longer served, you teach them. And eventually they learn. They learn that you are not a toy. They learn that you are not a doormat. They learn that you are not to be trifled with. Then and only then does your kindness truly shine. Because a kind person with no strength is a victim, but a kind person with iron in their spine is a force of nature. Look around. The leaders you respect, the people you quietly admire, the ones you wish you could become, do they explain themselves constantly? Do they shrink from conflict? Do they let others run their lives? No. They move with calm power. They let their silence speak. They make their boundaries crystal clear. And when they forgive, they do so strategically, never as a default, never as an obligation. You must become the same. Drop the fantasy that endless generosity will make people love you. It will not. It will only teach them to take more. Stop hoping they will wake up one day and appreciate your sacrifices. They won't. They will only see you as easy to exploit. The people who matter, the ones who are worth keeping in your life, will respect you far more when you protect your energy, when you make them earn your loyalty, when you refuse to settle for anything less than respect. Do not let your fear of losing people make you lose yourself. If someone leaves because you had standards, let them. That is a blessing. If someone grows cold because you dared to say no, let them. They were never truly on your side. You do not need to be liked by everyone. You do not need to be understood by everyone. You need to be respected, and respect is born in how you stand your ground. So become the fortress, build walls of boundaries, plant gardens of compassion inside them, defend the gates with calm unwavering resolve. Let your actions speak, let your standards speak, let your silence speak. Because the moment you stop broadcasting your fears, stop begging for approval, stop making excuses for your truth, you will become a mystery, and mystery is power. People cannot control what they cannot read. They cannot attack what they cannot see. Hold back your plans. Move strategically, forgive carefully, trust slowly, and never apologize for your strength. Niceness is a beautiful thing, but only when it is governed by discipline. Only when it is wielded with awareness. Do not be the harmless one in the room. Be the harmless by choice one, because the most dangerous men, the most unstoppable women, are those who could burn the world but choose not to. Those who can forgive but never be used. Those who can walk away without hesitation. That is what will make you truly powerful. So walk forward from this day on with a new code. kind but never weak, generous but never desperate, forgiving but never spineless, calm but never passive. And when they look at you, the same people who used to walk all over you, they will feel something they never felt before, call and respect. That is your birthright, that is your power, and that is how you win in a world that tries to break you. People often say that kindness is the highest virtue, that being gentle and agreeable will lead you to happiness and success. But what if I told you that constant kindness can actually be your biggest weakness? In today's world, being too nice is like walking around with a big neon sign that says, "I'm easy to use." It invites manipulation, exploitation, and betrayal. The truth is, not everyone has good intentions, and blindly trusting everyone leaves you exposed. The great strategist, Machiavelli, understood this harsh reality long ago. He saw the world as a battlefield where only those who master the art of control survive. True strength isn't about wearing a smile all the time or avoiding conflict. It's about knowing when to be firm, when to protect your interests, and when to stay silent. Don't think of power as an iceberg. The part visible to others is just a fraction of what's really there. Your true strength lies beneath the surface in your restraint, your secrets, and your ability to stay unpredictable. People who constantly reveal their plans, their feelings, or their weaknesses lose their advantage. They become easy targets because they hand over the keys to their fortress. Machiavelli's lesson: don't be an open book. Cultivate mystery. Speak less than necessary. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Being too transparent doesn't earn respect, it earns vulnerability. Furthermore, emotional control is key. Showing every hurt, fear, or anger only gives others power over you. The strongest individuals are those who remain composed, who can face adversity without losing their cool. This doesn't mean becoming cold or ruthless. It means mastering yourself so that your emotions serve you, not control you. And when it comes to relationships, alliances, or friendships, be careful what you reveal. Loyalty is rare, and shifting allegiances are common. Revealing your true position too soon only limits your options and opens you up to betrayal. Silence and ambiguity become your best shields. Most importantly, don't waste your energy seeking approval. The desire to be liked is a trap that leads to constant compromise and disappointment. Instead, seek respect earned through integrity, strength, and unwavering boundaries. The world rewards those who stand tall, who do not bend to every whim, and who understand that sometimes the most powerful move is saying no. So, embrace kindness but pair it with wisdom and strength. Be generous but know when to hold back. Walk with purpose, act with confidence, and guard your inner world like the precious treasure it is. Because in the game of life, survival and success belong not to the endlessly nice, but to the strategically strong. Remember, it's not about becoming cruel, it's about becoming unbreakable. There is a difference between a monster and a fortress. A monster lashes out without control. A fortress stands strong, silent, and impenetrable. You must become the fortress. Don't think about it. People test boundaries, it's human nature. If you never draw a line, they will keep pushing until there is nothing left of you. They will take your time, your peace, your kindness, all of it, because you never made them pay a price for crossing you. Kindness with no backbone is an invitation to be trampled. The modern world especially rewards those who can hold their frame under pressure. Every day you see it, the person who refuses to overexplain, the one who says no without apology, the leader who moves in silence and only reveals their results, never their plans. These are the people who get respect. You don't have to abandon empathy or compassion, but you must anchor them in strength. Mercy should be a choice, not an obligation. Forgiveness should be strategic, not automatic. And above all, remember, your boundaries are sacred. Defend them. That the moment you tolerate disrespect, you train people to treat you poorly. The moment you overshare your struggles, you give people ammunition to use against you. Your dignity is worth protecting, and the first way to protect it is by refusing to beg for approval. Those who cannot handle your boundaries were never truly on your side. Let them go, because the strongest people in this world are not the ones who speak the loudest or smile the widest. They are the ones who can hold their ground in silence, whose presence alone commands respect, and whose calm under pressure makes everyone else hesitate to cross them. Machiavelli understood that too. Rule to lead, to thrive, to survive. You must master both faces, the lion and the fox. The lion strikes with force, the fox moves with cunning. Together, they are unstoppable. You too must learn to balance these energies. Be kind, but do not be naive. Be patient, but do not be passive. Be forgiving, but never a doormat. When you combine empathy with power, silence with decisiveness, boundaries with generosity, you become a force that cannot be manipulated, cannot be cornered, and cannot be broken. So stop trying to please everyone. Stop apologizing for your standards. Stop giving away your soul to people who only want to feed on it. Stand tall, move strategically, and guard what is yours. Let people earn your kindness, not assume it. Let them earn your trust, not take it for granted. This is not about becoming cold, it is about becoming wise. Because in the end, the world does not bow to those who are simply good, it bows to those who are good and powerful. and that is who you must become. Asterisk. There is a bitter lesson in life that no one really teaches you as a child. The world is not designed to reward your sacrifices. No one is keeping score of your good deeds. No cosmic book is tracking every time you swallowed your pride, bent your back, or let yourself be stepped on. People do not remember your kindness. They remember your power. It sounds harsh, but it is the truth. You can be the nicest person in the room, the one who listens, who forgives, who helps, who heals, and still be disrespected, overlooked, and left behind. Because niceness is not currency in the real world. Strength is, people are drawn to what they cannot break. They respect what they cannot shake. When you stand your ground, when you say no without fear, when you enforce your boundaries without a stutter, you become something rare. You become someone they cannot predict, someone they cannot mold, someone they cannot own. That, right there, is where real respect is born. A man or woman who can face confrontation without trembling, who can lose approval without losing their soul, who can walk away without an ounce of guilt. That person terrifies the manipulators. It confuses them. It defeats them because manipulators feed on insecurity. They thrive on people who doubt themselves, who need to be liked, who will do anything to keep the peace. But when you no longer fear being disliked, you starve them. When you stop caring about applause, you starve them. There is enormous power in detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending. You still feel love, but you do not beg for it. You still give, but you do not sacrifice your dignity. You still help, but you do not allow yourself to be exploited. And that subtle shift changes everything. The day you stop seeking permission is the day you step into your own authority. The day you stop explaining every move is the day you become ungovernable. It is a transformation from being someone who is liked to someone who is respected. And in this world, respect will carry you much further than popularity ever could. It will feel uncomfortable at first. You will feel guilt, fear, hesitation. That is the residue of your old self. That is the nice person inside you protesting, but I want them to understand me. Let that part of you die. People do not need to understand you. They only need to see your actions, your results, your decisions. That is enough. Kindness is still a virtue, but only when you place it behind the gates of self-respect. Kindness without boundaries is self-betrayal. Mercy without limits is a suicide mission. Think of the strongest people you know. They might be warm, they might be gentle, but they are not soft. Their yes means yes. Their no means no. You cannot bend them with guilt. You cannot sway them with shame. That is what makes them powerful. So build your fortress. Be generous but guarded. Be loving but not blind. Be forgiving but with consequences. And remember that you owe the world only one thing: your authenticity. You do not owe explanations for protecting your soul. You do not owe apologies for having standards. You do not owe endless second chances to those who would bleed you dry. Machiavelli would tell you plainly, a man who cannot defend himself will be destroyed. You were not born to be destroyed. You were born to build, to stand, to lead. And that begins by refusing to kneel before everyone else's demands. Because the truth is, people respect what they cannot control. If they see you cannot be broken, they stop trying to break you. If they see you cannot be manipulated, they stop trying to manipulate you. And in that space, in that silence you hold, they find something they never expected. Or let them feel it. Asterisk.